Welcome back, my friends, to the World at War here. World War I against Tortuga. Guys, we are trying to continue holding the line. Again, my goal here is to hold on till 1916. I don't think I can actually beat Tortuga here unless there are some actual battlefield miracles, and I don't see those happening anytime soon. Although, I'm starting to think about the Western Front here, and we certainly have to beef it up. We've got a lot going on the east. So I'm actually going to drop one of my units over here at Strasbourg and just kind of consider my options. Finally, we can bring some artillery into the fight too, and I'd love to bring it for my Austro-Hungarians, but that just isn't going to happen. So I'm going to bring it over here to the Western Front, and hopefully it will actually have some uses. We're also getting some subs for our Austro-Hungarians, so I'm going to drop one of those over here near Split, just hoping that the enemy's in here. And oh my goodness, we can actually get some artillery near Valjevo and near Belgrade. That's where we desperately need the arty. I don't know if we can break through, but we could certainly try. Somebody was suggesting just pretty much continually attacking the area until we weaken the defender. I don't think that's going to work. As you can see, his odds of beating us are actually pretty high, and he could easily switch out units, you know, as he wants, at will, pretty much. So I think the most important thing is just hold on to that front. Don't lose it. We can also bring over the bombers here, and maybe they can help. But even a place like Valjevo here, as you can see, we're not really going to come out with many casualties for the Serb side. We're going to test it. I'm not even sure this is a good idea, but I will test the area just to see what kind of damage we can do, and as you can see, almost no damage at all. No matter which way we attack, we're taking pretty serious casualties. We'll try to attack with our Germans, but as you can see, that's not changing anything. If we hit over here, we could actually damage Belgrade a little bit, but I'm not sure if it's worth it, because he could send units forward and actually do damage to us. It's really quite risky no matter what happens here. I'll risk it. Go ahead and do an attack on Belgrade just to test the defenses, but as you can see, those are rock solid. They are not breaking. There's just no way that's going to happen. Now, the other option is to do something over here in the east against the approaching enemy. I am going to try to engage that cavalry and damage it a bit, at least try to cut the line or close the line, and we should also go ahead, reinforce this unit. He's done an excellent job. Same with this unit on the front. We've stopped the Russian push, and now what we want to do is try and dish out some of our own damage and destroy some more Russian units. We've been quite successful on the Eastern Front destroying their units, but the question is, can we make it count? Okay, I'm seeing this gap near Lodz. That's definitely not an area we want to lose, but let's see if we can bring any units forward, even if they have to come from Krakow. Unfortunately, it looks like that's not going to work too well. Maybe we'll see if the Russians will try to push into this area. We could move this guy over here, move the unit from Krakow right there, reinforce the existing units here that are struggling, and we're still going to try to reach out and touch the enemy, for lack of a better word. Also reinforce any frontline units, although I might actually just switch them with these guys. Go for an attack. As you can see, they're totally didn't do a good job there. It looks like he's quite well defended in those trenches. That's making me reconsider that entire attack. Now, over here, we would actually do a lot better. Let's go for it. We didn't come this far to sit back and wait for the enemy to attack us nonstop. I'm going to go for it. Unfortunately, that positioning is not great for us. Let's just go ahead, reinforce the units where we can. We'll build some more trenches. And again, we're just trying to hold on as long as possible. If we see an opportunity to do a counterattack, of course, we're going to take it. But as of right now, I think the best thing to do is just be careful, pretty much. Take out the enemy when we can. Try to get some more of these subs into enemy waters, of course. That's going to be a big job here, is just try and get over there and cut off as much of the actual enemy shipping as we can. We'll probably find enemy boats along the way, but I think it's all just sort of par for the course in this particular battle. Got a lot left to do. Quite a lot left to do. That guy's looking really weak. Can we switch? Yeah. Look at that. So he's down to 4. Now we could push into the enemy zone of control here and try and take him out. I wouldn't do this if I didn't feel like we needed to be extremely aggressive, so I am being a little more aggressive than I think I should be, but in the meantime, I'll entrench the lines behind them. Can we move over here and do the same thing? The only issue here is I worry they'll destroy my unit next turn, so maybe we should just leave him the way he is. But I do want to try and make an attack happen somewhere. Again, where that is going to be is another question. The line near Lodz is getting really close to buckling. So here's what I'll do. Can he move out there? That's the real question. I feel like we're going to have to put this unit here unless we can get one of our German units on the rails and bring him all the way over here. Of course, that means removing some units from our western front, though, and I was, you know, really trying not to do that. Although this is scary. As you can see, they've actually cut off one of our German units. We're going to have to break through, show them no mercy, and bring our unit back to the front lines, and I think we can actually accomplish that. But yeah, it looks like for this unit at Lodz, we're just going to have to hope the enemy doesn't push too far, and we'll add some more trenches. Actually rotate these trenches southward so that we have an entire trench works in the area. And maybe even if we could bring this unit over here to protect the city of Lodz. But then again, maybe bringing him to the front lines is an even better idea. So we'll keep him right here at Tarnów. Did pretty well against those units at Tarnów. I wonder, though, if this guy can make it all the way here and attack, and I don't think he's going to be able to do that. Doesn't mean we should stop attacking. We should try and damage any of these forward enemy units. Only managed to get him down to 7. And actually, our Marine Corps did a pretty good job there. But I'm definitely not pushing our luck. That's going to be it for now. Maybe attacking over here near Przemyśl. Even that, I think, is pretty risky. Now, I believe the Italians have not yet joined the war. Again, we did everything we could, even making concessions to allow the Italians to essentially, you know, have their Trento and Trieste areas, and they wouldn't join the war. So let me take a look at the diplomacy there. I don't believe, I really hope Italy hasn't joined. Bulgaria, we're trying to get on our side, but again, without taking Serbia, I just don't see that happening. It looks like Portugal has already joined the Entente, which is disappointing. And look at this, the Russians appearing in our Turkish waters to deal us a blow here. That is not good news. In fact, we've also got some French submarines over here causing us some issues. Let's just try to get our Turkish ships over here. And sure enough, we actually run right into a French battlecruiser. But we could potentially kill this guy. If we just had a few more ships in our navy, we could potentially do something about that. I don't like that those Russians are approaching. Speaking of Russians, let's take a look over here on the far eastern front. The best thing we can do is just hold out as long as possible. The fact is we are not prepared for this kind of warfare. So the best thing we can do, I think, is just cause havoc amongst the Russians. Try and get behind their units, etc. Take these villages, you know, behind them, etc., and obviously hold out as long as possible. We're also going to advance deeper into Iraq. That's right into glorious Iraq, the land of milk and honey, and hopefully take this area back from the British. And this western front, this far western front, if I can call it that, I actually have some hope here that we could work a miracle and get the Suez Canal, which would be massive. Massive national morale boost. But it's going to take some fighting, of course, so we are more than ready to do some fighting. Let's go ahead, keep attacking. Even to the point of death, I'm going to move that unit through, just to make way for another wave of our warriors, to be honest with you. That's how desperately I want to break through here. Now, they are starting to bring regulars forward, and once the regulars get here, it's going to be a lot more difficult to actually take this area, understandably. But for now, this area is under our control. We can even take that Neklil village there. We might as well go ahead and grab that And let's see what they've got. They've got the Anzac Corps, so actually the Australians over here about to fight a horde of our Ottoman warriors. I'm also going to go ahead and move some of these other units to the Western Front. Speaking of the real Western Front, this is where I think we can actually get some vengeance, hopefully. So first thing I'm going to do is soften them up with some bombardment from our airships. Then, go ahead and attack with our units at Liège. Ideally, I don't want those units at Liège on the front line since they're kind of beat up. Let's keep them there for now. Attack once again. And beautiful. They got themselves out of that mess. Now, of course, we're going to have to be aggressive, though, and we're going to have to push up here and hold the area in front of Liège. I'm ready for it, but of course, it's going to have to change our tactics quite a bit. We're going to have to use probably cavalry to cover one of these fronts. Not ideal, I know, but it must be done. Especially since I was thinking we could have potentially gotten a pretty good bit of damage on that approaching unit, but it looks like we're just going to have to accept our lot in life here. Once again, doing a few attacks, but it looks like Tortuga's already got some defensive artillery, which is absolutely the right thing to have in this particular time and place. So I'm just extending the line pretty much to find a way where I don't leave a gap open. I might leave just this gap open. I don't think any of his units can actually make it through because of the zone of control, but I've had crazier things happen in this game. That's what's got me kind of worried. So I'm almost thinking we should take one of these units and bring him back to the Western Front. Again, maybe we'll be just fine, but maybe we could take this guy here, operate him back to the Western Front. I don't even think it's worth it. So let's keep things as they are right now. And just really hope the enemy doesn't go for this push to Mannheim. In fact, that makes me feel a little bit safer. Alright, guys, I think we're going to end the turn. We're going to turn it over to Tortuga Power. And hopefully, we can still keep on holding on, get to 1916, and still cause tremendous damage to the enemy. Maybe it's a bunch to ask, a lot to ask, but I'm going to certainly try to make it happen. Let's also get the rest of these submarines out. We've got plenty of wolves on the way. See you guys in the next video. As always, make sure to hit that like button. Please subscribe if you're here from Tortuga's channel. Tortuga is a really bright guy. He does a lot of the sort of strategic level war games. I do more at the simpler stuff, RTS, things like that. So if you're in the mood for some of that, you'll want to swing by here as well. Catch you guys on the next video, and glory to the Kaiser.